Hey, in today's video we're going to talk a little bit about alcohol. Alcohol is the most consumed poison in the world, and it is likely that if it were invented now and not a part of humanity for thousands of years, it would not be legal because of its harmfulness. When we talk about alcohol, whether it is beer, wine, or hard liquor, it is always the same chemical compound that is responsible for all the effects: ethanol. Ethanol can be produced in a number of ways, but when it comes to making alcoholic beverages, ethanol is obtained through fermentation. Fermentation is based on the fact that specific types of yeast are able to metabolize sugars, creating ethanol. Anything is used as a sugar source in the production of alcohol. For wine, it is grapes. For rum, it's sugar cane. In beer, grain and hops. For vodka, any cereal, and so on. The bottom line is that there always has to be sugar. So, in simple terms, the way alcohol is made is that first the source of sugar is crushed, water is added, and then yeast is added. The yeast slowly release the ethanol until the concentration is so high that they die. In most cases, it's around 15%. Now, the next procedure depends on the type of alcohol. Hard alcohol is further distilled, which means that it is heated to a certain temperature to evaporate the ethanol, which is later cooled again and thus liquefied. People have been producing alcohol for a very long time, for at least 10,000 years. But the ability to metabolize alcohol at all and not to die from it naturally evolved in our ancestors long before that. It came in handy for them, for example, when they ate rotten fermented fruit lying on the ground. So what happens when you drink alcohol? After drinking, about 20% of the alcohol is absorbed in the stomach. The rest is absorbed in the small intestine. Of course, alcohol is absorbed faster when your stomach is empty because it gets into the small intestine faster. Once it's absorbed, it gets into the bloodstream, and the blood carries it all over the body. Then it gets to the brain, where it affects the communication between brain cells, i.e. neurons. Neurons communicate with each other using so-called neurotransmitters. These can be either excitatory or inhibitory. Alcohol increases the activity of inhibitory transmitters. As these inhibit activity, thus it produces the old familiar effects. You perceive less, you feel less, you think less. After all, it is obvious to you all. The effects, of course, depend on the concentration of alcohol in the blood. DAC is generally defined as a fraction of weight of alcohol per volume of blood, with a coherent unit of grams per liter. Countries differ in how this number is normally expressed. Common formats are listed in the table below. For example, the US and many international publications present BAC as a percentage, such as 0.05%. This would be interpreted as 0.05 grams per deciliter of blood. This same concentration could be expressed as 0.5 per mil or 50 milligram percent in other countries. For example, 2 promille or 2% or 200 milligram percent means that there are 2 milliliters of pure alcohol ethanol in a liter of blood. Each person needs a different amount of alcohol to reach a certain concentration or level. It mainly depends on weight. The heavier you are, the more cells you have in your body, and the more the alcohol is dispersed, so you have a lower level. Gender is also an important factor. Women by nature have less muscles and therefore less water in the body, which means that alcohol cannot dissipate as much as it does in men, so women just need less alcohol. Also, the same level of alcohol in two people may not mean exactly the same effects. Someone can handle less, and someone can handle more. But roughly it goes something like this. Above 0.3 promille, 0.03%, 30 milligram percent, you start to feel that you've had something to drink. Around 1 per mil, 0.1%, 100 milligram percent, you feel euphoric, relaxed, chatty, and confident. Around 1.8 per mil, 0.18%, 180 milligram percent, you are well and truly slowed down and your balance is beginning to worry you. Around 2.5 per mil, 0.25%, 250 milligram percent, you're already very sick and you're likely to have some memory lapses. Well, above 3 per mil, 0.3%, 300 milligram percent, you are unable to stand and you vomit. Drink sensibly. That's all from today's video. Let me know in the comments section what you would like to see in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it will help me a lot. See you in the next video.